This week felt like the universe had randomized on the chaos setting. Iran and Israel are exchanging fire like it's the Cold War, minus the code. It's just full out war now. Two Minnesota lawmakers were gunned down in what might be the most terrifying Google Calendar notification of all time. And an Indian plane crash turned into a near miracle survival story, with Boeing somewhere in the background looking like that one kid who swears he studied for the test but keeps failing every inspection. Meanwhile, Nate Joel, rapper, poet, visionary, dropped a song so expensive it might have his own tax bracket. 10 racks for a single. Better come with therapy and a feature from Jesus. It's America in 2025. Geopolitics, assassinations, air disasters, and SoundCloud entrepreneurship. Welcome back to the Adonis Black Show. Let's make sense of this mess, or at least laugh at it before it eats us alive. Last week, things got real between Iran and Israel, like war level real. Iran backed Hezbollah launched a barrage of rockets into northern Israel after an Israeli airstrike killed a top commander in Iran. Israel responded by flattening targets across southern Lebanon, and now, Israeli officials are straight up warning of an all out war. But here's the thing most people don't realize these two weren't always enemies. Back in the 50s through the 70s, under the US backed Shah, Iran was secular, Western aligned, and sold oil to Israel in secret. They were low key allies but shared enemies. But in 1979, everything changed. The Islamic Revolution flipped Iran into a theocracy. Suddenly, Israel wasn't an ally, it was the Zionist enemy. Since then, it's been a cold war in the shadows cyber attacks, assassinations, nuclear fears, and Iran funding proxy groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, groups that have been surrounding Israel with rockets for decades. So, when you see Israel bombing Gaza and Hezbollah firing from Lebanon, understand that Iran is sitting in the background, pulling a lot of those strings, and Israel knows it. This escalation isn't random, it's strategic, and it is very dangerous. This might be the first time in decades we see open war between these two powers, and with the US and Russia both hovering nearby, it's not just a regional problem anymore. Late Saturday morning in Minnesota, tragedy struck hard and close. State House Speaker Melissa Hortman, a prominent Democrat, and her husband Mark was shot and killed in their Brooklyn Park home. At the same time, State Senator Joff Hoffman and his wife Yvette were also shot in their Champlain home, but they survived. The suspect, 57-year-old Vance Luther Bolter, dressed as a police officer and driving a fake cop vehicle. In it, officers found a chilling manifesto and a hit list of roughly 70 names, targeting Democratic lawmakers, abortion rights advocates, even Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar. Bolter fled the scene and remains at large, with a $50,000 FBI reward on the table. Governor Walz condemned the attack as a politically motivated assassination and the worst form of violence against public service. This attack wasn't random, it was planned, targeted, and horrifyingly efficient. We've witnessed extremism across the aisle before, but hitting high ranked state lawmakers at home, that is escalation. It begs a chilling question. Has political violence become a weapon of domestic terror? Another thought. When deadly force replaces speech, when bullets become ballots, what protection does democracy actually have? This week, tragedy struck in Ahmedabad, India, when Air India flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for London, crashed just after takeoff, straight into a medical college hostel. The death toll? 241 passengers and crew, plus at least 38 people on the ground, including medical staff and students, echoing a modern horror. It's the first fatal crash involving this particular plane, once hailed as the safest next-gen jet. Only one survivor walked away, who miraculously escaped through a broken emergency exit at seat 11A, earning it legendary status as the miracle seat. Investigators from India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, along with the UK's AAIB and the US NTSB, are handling the probe. They've recovered the black boxes and suspect issues with engine thrust, flap deployment, or landing gear, with the DGCA already ordering checks on all 787s in India. Now to Boeing, the company behind the jet. Let's be real, this isn't just a tragic accident. This is Boeing's worst nightmare coming true. The same company that faked inspection records and was involved in the 737 MAX scandal now has a fatal hull loss on its hands. Their stock dropped 5% after the crash as regulators are watching closer than ever. The bigger question here, are we putting airline safety ahead of profit? Too often, companies cut corners, regulators give passes, and passengers pay the ultimate price. It's time we ask, how many dead before we draw the line? And before we go, shout out to Nate Joel, rapper, poet, sonic philosopher, who just dropped a track for $10,000. Yes, that is the real price. Do you want to go buy it? I'm not buying it today, at least. I don't know if look, man, this is not a typo. That's really $10,000. That's how much it costs. Ask him why he decided to price it that much. Ask him why he values himself that much. Look, the man said if art is priceless, why are we pricing it like it's on clearance? So And honestly, look, salute. We laugh, but it's also kind of brilliant. Artists set their own value, and if someone buys it, it becomes the Mona Lisa of SoundCloud. That's the world this week. A holy war heats up while the world watches through filters. Two lawmakers are executed in their homes, and somehow it's not breaking news. And a jet full of people burns in the sky while Boeing keeps cashing checks. The Adonis Black Show, man, the only news show where we laugh to keep from crying. The world's on fire, so might as well light it up with jokes, right? I don't. What's that even? Light it up with the truth. The truth. Yeah, that's how we bring the light to the world. Truth, not jokes, man. I don't know what the fuck is the difference. I'll see you in a few days. Stay safe. Stay sharp. Stay human. Peace out.